Hey guys, Deborah with Pinching Pesos here. Decided to do an eBays and Bacon this morning. It's a little after 9 Central Standard Time, and I haven't done one in a really long time. I don't know why today I feel kind of nervous. I don't really have a topic. At the last couple times that I did these, I actually had kind of written down the night before what I was going to talk about that day, and today I don't really have a topic. So I guess just wanted to catch you guys up on where I'm at and what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. And yeah, so I've been trying to figure out what do you guys use for your organization, like actually like organizing your thoughts and organizing what you're doing. Because me personally, I am addicted to buying organizers. Like I could probably have 100 different ones and they're all empty except for like the first page. And even when I thought I found like the right system, I still wasn't able to like follow through with it. So what do you guys use to kind of organize your thoughts and organize your day and kind of set up your goals? And because I was I was watching this video of this guy that's like, I guess he's on YouTube, but I watch him on Facebook. And he's like a entrepreneurial coach, or he's got a business, but he kind of talks to other business owners and gives them advice about things. And there was a video the other day that said, if you don't have goals, like if you don't have a deadline, not necessarily goals, but a deadline, you don't really have a business. You have a hobby. And that people want to say that they're entrepreneurs and that they're business owners, but they don't have a deadline. So there's not some type of quota they're trying to reach or some type of number they're trying to get to. And when you're not setting up like, okay, this is what I'm going to have done by Friday, and this is what I'm going to have done at the end of the month, and this is what I'm going to have done at this quarter, then it's like, well, you're not really being, I guess you're not being responsible to anyone, which as eBayers and Amazon, resellers and stuff, we kind of don't want to be responsible to anyone, but we need to be responsible to ourselves. So even though we don't have like investors and board members and things like that, that we have to, be responsible to with, your numbers and your things like this, we still need to be responsible to ourselves. So it got me thinking, and I was like, I really need to establish some type of, this is what I'm going to have done by this date. And I know Ronnie Hart used to, when he had his warehouse, it was always kind of nice to see in the background. He had this whiteboard that was like next to his desk, and it had like his months on it. And it said on there like what his sales numbers were. And like he kind of had established always like what his goal numbers were and where he was into reaching that goal. And I haven't got to that point. So while I say I have a business, I really do treat it more of like a hobby where I'm not being responsible to my business. I'm not being responsible to my business. That's plain and simple. I'm not being responsible to my business because I'm not allotting any certain number of hours. I'm not allotting any certain number of, sales goals, things like that. I'm not really putting things down concrete. And so I think that's where I'm at right now, where I'm trying to be responsible to my business, where I'm not just, I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to spend 3 hours scrolling Facebook, and then I might ship out some stuff, and then I'll spend another 2 hours scrolling Facebook because what did I miss while I was shipping? It's like I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything at all. There's nothing there, I really have to find a way to focus my time in my office. So I was thinking the other day about, how they say make your bedroom where you sleep. Don't incorporate TV watching and eating and, you know, doing crafts or whatever. Don't incorporate things that don't belong in your bedroom. Like, your bedroom is for sleeping and sex and getting dressed or whatever, you know. Like, don't make it where it's another room. Well, so I got to think about that concept for my office, and I was like, okay, if my office is supposed to be where I work, I have over time made my office where I am. So I eat my lunch, sometimes my dinner in here, breakfast, in front of the computer. I spend some spare time in here. I'll watch Netflix in here, just, you know, watching YouTube videos and just kind of hanging out in here. So it's like, okay, I need to make this space and change my mind view of my space, of my office, to where this is where I work. This is not where I hang out. This is not where I spend, you know, my leisurely time. That this is my workspace. And if I'm gonna be on Facebook, or I'm gonna watch Netflix, or I'm gonna do, now sometimes I do watch Netflix while I'm listing, and that's a totally different thing. But far too often I'm sitting back like this in my chair watching Netflix, doing nothing. So I think what I'm gonna do is turn my office into a work only zone, where when I walk through the door of my office, that's when I'm working. And if I have something that I need to do that doesn't involve work, I need to leave my office. And I also need at some point to close the door. You know, I need to get out of here. This is not my, like, girl cave. You know, it's not where I'm gonna go hang out. I need to go in the living room. So let me check the chat real quick. How do we tell people to leave us alone? I tell them, leave me alone. That's what I do. My daughter, she's 9 now, but she has for years been very well established on, whenever I say, I am busy right now, we will do it later. You know, go find something else to do. She just does. But I have enough respect for her that when I tell her we are going to do it later, we actually do it later. If you don't, then your person, you know, that you're telling that to, whether it's your child or your spouse or whoever it is, will eventually get to where they don't trust you saying that. And so when you say, I'm busy right now, we will do it in 3 hours, or we'll do it this evening, or we'll do it tomorrow morning, or we'll do it whenever it is you say you're going to do it, if you don't follow through on that, then the next time that you say, I'm busy right now, we'll do it later, they're not going to believe you, and they'll keep hounding you and hounding you. And I think you have to set up these boundaries that your time is just important as theirs, especially when it comes to kids, that they just need to wait. They have to wait, and you have to teach your children to wait, because I see a lot of kids out in the world that they don't know how to wait. And there's a lot of adults now, young adults and people, that don't know how to wait. And it's like, dude, you need to calm down and slow your roll, because we're just waiting on coffee here. And this person's like, their world's going to implode, you know, if they have to wait 45 more seconds. But yeah, that I don't have any. Sometimes my husband will invade my time, but I kind of allow him to do that because I feel like I have spent the whole day doing nothing. So when he comes and is like, hey, I need you to do this, I feel like I need to do it right then. But every now and then I'm like, hey, I'm busy right now and I can't do that for you. Because I don't leave, Jen Glitting said, because I don't leave to go to work somewhere else, people don't think I have a real job. This is everyone that does this to me, including my mother. Does she live with you? Because if she doesn't, don't answer the phone. If she doesn't live with you, don't answer the door. I mean, it is really something that you have to set up those boundaries for yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. So those people that always say yes, even though they don't have the time, they don't have the time to be on PTA, or they don't have the time to volunteer, they don't have the time to do it, but they still say yes because they're too scared to say no. Say no. It's not hard. No. That's it. And people need to be able to respect your time, but you have to respect theirs also. You know, and so establishing these boundaries is something that you have to do, and say, hey, I can't do things between 8 and 2, or whatever. It's up to you to set up your life. I have, my daughter goes to school. My husband is gone during the day. I'm here by myself. It would be very easy for people to take advantage of that and be like, oh, well, she's not busy during the day, you know. No, I am. And it's your job to establish that with people, that you are busy. And no, I can't take your call right now and talk to you for 3 hours. No, I can't go run over here with you. I can't do those things because I am working. It's how you portray it to them. If you're going to portray you working at home as, oh, I have all the time in the world, I am at your, you know, back and call. Whenever you call me, I'm here because I work from home. It doesn't work that way. You set up those boundaries. If you were at a job, you wouldn't be able to take all those personal calls all day long. So, but it's up to you. Brian says, you've got dogs, you're not by yours. Yes, I do have dogs, but they are not bothering me. So this is just kind of where I'm at. I wanted to come on today and just kind of clear my thoughts, because I do a lot better, as I've mentioned before, of talking out what I'm thinking and just trying to work things out for myself. So I think what I'd like to do today is set up some goals for September. What I need to do is I'm going to go back and look over the last couple of months. And this is kind of what makes it handy about keeping track of like my actual listing numbers. I want to go back and look and see like, okay, well, how much did I list and how much did I make? So in June, you know, I listed this amount of items, and corresponding to that, I made this amount of money. And in July, I listed this amount of items, and corresponding to that, I made this amount of money. Now, are those numbers going to be exact on, okay, if I list that amount this month, if I listed 50 things last month and I sold $1,200, if I list 50 things this month, am I going to sell $1,200? No, it's not an exact science, but it gives me an idea of what I'm, you know, trying to work towards, because it's so easy for people to be like, I'm going to list 10 a day. I do that. I'm going to list 10 a day. And then I don't. Okay, well, no harm, no foul. I'm not responsible to anybody. You know, whatever. But I need to stop looking at it like that. I need to stop, you know, being so easy flowing about my business model. Because I can do so much more. So, and HP Picker saying, oh, well, it just depends on what you're listing. I average about the same amount. If you look at your average sales numbers, I average about the same amount per item sold. So, it doesn't have to be an exact science. If you're constantly sourcing the same kind of things, then you're going to be around about in the ballpark. You know what I mean? It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be roundabout. So, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to work on setting up some goals. And I think I'm going to do it in the reverse of the way that I've been doing it, you know, where people keep track of how many they listed. I think I'd like to keep track of how many I'm selling. And I'd like to subtract those numbers off of like my monthly goal. So that way I see that I'm getting closer to where I need to be, instead of just constantly feeling like, oh, I have to list this amount and then I didn't reach that amount, and so then I failed. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. If you listed one, then you didn't fail. You know, If you listed 0 and you woke up today, you know, you didn't fail, but still. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up some goals. What are your goals? What do you have as your goals for your business? How do you write them out? Do you have them on a dry erase board? Do you write them on a paper? You have them on a spreadsheet? And how are you working your goals? Are you doing it by listings? Are you doing it by money? I would like to hear. I want to know like how you're doing your goals, because everybody's different, but you know, you can implement different bits and pieces from people. We're all learning from each other. I learn a lot from my viewers and other resellers and things like that. So we're all learning from each other. Today, what I plan to do today is I'm going to list the things that I showed in my haul video. Y'all did miss a couple things because I forgot a bag. I'm going to show them to you real quick. If you ever see these sell really well. This is a Sony Sports Walkman. It's the one that does TV, weather, and FM radio and cassette. I bought this one for $3.99, and they sell for about $25. Really easy kind of sell. It works perfectly. And I also bought, and I can't find one of these. This is brand new, never used. Look. This is from Universal Studios. It still has the sticker on the bottom, but it was on clearance at one point. It's ET. It's an ET cup. There's not one on eBay. There's not one on WorthPoint. So I don't really know where to price it at. Sometimes these things that you think are really rare don't bring in the money that they're supposed to. But I thought this was really cool, and the fact that it's unused and brand new. I don't know. I'll have to see. And the very last thing I didn't show you on my haul video, be right back, is this really cute, and I did look this up when I was at the store. It's an ice cream pint holder with a little jewel on top and glitter. Hang on. Let me get the tape off. So it's got the jewel on top and glitter and stuff, and a little spoon, and you put your pint of ice cream in there whenever you're, I guess, eating pints of ice cream. I don't eat ice cream, but this is really cute. And I didn't look it up, but I did find one that sold recently for $28. So not bad. Now, there were some other ones that were very similar that didn't sell for less money, but their keywords weren't as good and their pictures weren't as good. So I'm going to go ahead and list this for, you know, probably $29.95 best offer. But anyway, those were some things that I missed on my haul video. King Flip says, the bankers didn't think my business was legit. Now they look at my balance and ask if I'm hiring. Yeah, that's a funny thing. I have my business, you know, my car loan went through my business just by having my bank account. I go through credit union. And I think if you're in a business like we are, where numbers are kind of weird and it's not traditional, a credit union is a great banking method, because credit unions typically, they're local and they treat you like a person. You're not just a bank account number. You are a person. And so while Wells Fargo or Bank of America might look at you and be like, well, you don't qualify. You don't have the numbers that we need. We need all of this. My credit union, I applied for my car loan. They didn't ask me for anything. All they did was look at my bank account, see that I'm constantly depositing money in there, and that it's not negative or whatever, that I keep a general decent balance, you know, $500 to $1,000 in it. I don't typically get less than $500 in there. Big baller. Look at me. Woo-hoo. No. And didn't ask me for anything. I mean, I filled out the application, said that I'm self-employed. I do eBay, and got my car loan. So yeah, I would say go to credit union if you're going to be trying to use your business as your income, which you should be doing. But so yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to do today. I want to set up some goals and set up some real numbers ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and post that over onto the Pinching Pesos Facebook page. I would like to see what you guys do. If you could help me out and just show me, like, what are you doing to kind of keep yourself going and look and be motivated and say, okay, this is my goal. Okay, this is what I need to do next. But does anybody have any questions before I close out today? I wasn't going to be on very long. I just wanted to catch up with everybody, and school's back in session, so I'm up early in the morning. So you will be seeing eBays and Bacon. I don't know if it's going to be every day, but I would say a couple of times a week because I have things that I want to touch on, and it really helps me get my brains together. Ashley Harris says, people think I don't work a real job, but if I had to guess, I work harder than most regular 9-to-5s. Yes. And it's like I was saying earlier, Ashley, I think I said it before you came in, because Jen Glyden was saying as well that people don't see her business as a business. That is something that you establish for yourself. You know, that it's how you present it to people. If you say, when people ask, oh, what do you do? Oh, I sell things that I get from the store. I sell them online. Okay. But if you're like, oh, you know, and you establish it and you say, you know, I have, you know, this kind of business, and or I'm self-employed, I do, and you have to say what you do. But if you want to, you can elaborate. It's not a simple thing. And if people want to look at it like you're running a garage sale, it just depends on how you're presenting it to people. And if you're presenting it as like oh, well, and I know a lot of people do, I've watched their faces when you ask them, what do they do? And when I've run into people that are doing non-traditional type of jobs, oh, well, so do you have a name for your business? Yeah, my business is Pinching Pesos. It's been Pinching Pesos for the last 9 years. It's on my DBA. It's what it is. Are you going to keep doing this? Yes, I will be continuing to do eBays and Bacon now that school's back in session, and I'm not staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning and waking up at noon. So I'm kind of a night owl. My daughter is too. She will stay up with me. If I'm up until 3, she'll stay up until 3 and then wake up at noon. But when school's in session, bed by 9, wakes up 6:45. So my title on my company is buying manager, and my trade name is kind of vague. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. You can set up your business and you work it however you want to, and it's however confident you are. When you're answering people's questions, if you're just, it's like when people say, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. I'm just a housewife. Well, we all know that's a really big job. We all know that. But when you're setting it up like that, oh, I'm just this. Oh, well, I just sell things online. Okay. You make money doing that? That's the next question they'll ask you. Oh, do you make money doing that? Well, no, duh. That's how I pay for my car. You know, it's how you present it. My family thinks I'm a hoarder, and I have been for Jules for the Popper for 3 years now. That's also how you present your business. If you have a mess like I do all the time, it could be very easy for somebody to see you as a hoarder instead of as a business owner, especially if you're keeping more than you're buying, more than you're selling, because I know a lot of people that, oh, this is so cute and I'd really like to keep this, but we're in the business of selling things, not storing things and not collecting things. So let's see. HB Picker says, I really don't care what people think. It's not their life. They don't need to understand. And that's a great attitude. The only people that need to understand is your mortgage company if you're trying to get one of those, or your banker if you're trying to get a loan. Ashley says, I need to come up with a name. Yes, and Ashley, what I would recommend is that you come up with a name that works all around. Because when you get your logo made, and you start really kind of figuring out what you want your business to look like, you don't want it to be really specific. You want it to be kind of open. So you don't want to be like, you know, trash to treasure, eBay seller. No, okay, you want to be, something, and sorry if you're trash for treasure eBay seller, I just kind of pulled that off the top of my head, but that's very specific. So it doesn't allow you to kind of smooth out. And I've seen people that have their business names where it's very specific on, they're an eBay seller and they sell trinkets, or whatever, and it doesn't allow them to expand. So I would suggest when you're actually setting up your business name that you find something that works all around, that it doesn't, that it works if you are going to sell on Amazon, and it works if you're going to put it on your business cards, and you're going to, it's going to be on your bank account. It's going to be your name on your bank account. It's your name on your DBA. It's, when you have set up your ITIN, you don't get another one of those. The name that you put on there is the name that you get. So, yeah, I would come up with a name that's general and just kind of works. I have Pinching Pesos, and nobody really knows what that is. I mean, like when I go to the store and I'm buying things and I have my sales tax certificate, and I'm like, oh, I want my sales tax, I'm sales tax exempt, and they're like, oh, well, what's the name of your business? I'm like, Pinching Pesos, and they're like, what is that? Like, nobody really knows what it is. Like, it could be kind of anything. And originally it started out as a blog, as a savings blog. You can find it if you Google it. At some point, it's from like 2007, I think. When I got started, Pinching Pesos was the name that I had came up with for a couponing and saving blog that I did. And then when I started selling on eBay, I was selling coupons. But you can see where going from the coupons, Pinching Pesos still works. It still works for what I'm selling now. It still works for my YouTube channel. It works for a wide range of things. It doesn't have to just be, oh, well, I don't sell coupons anymore, so I need to change my name. Pinching could be a consultant, Get Business. It's a great name. I need to be able to talk big business as well as garage sellers. Trading companies work with everything, including stocks. Yep. So, okay, so I really love doing these in the mornings. It really gets my head going and gets me off to like the day, gets me going and gets me running on, So I'm going to sit here and figure out how I'd like to do my goals. It's coming up to the end of the month. So I would like to set up a goal for the last week and how I'm going to obtain that. And then I'm going to follow through on that. And then I'm going to set up my goals for September. But right now I'm going to work on my week. I will post it over on the Pinching Pesos Facebook page. And like I said, if you have something that you do that works for you, hey, I'm always open for ideas. Let me know what they are. So I'm going to go ahead and close out today, and thank you guys for joining me this morning, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.